What's good, everybody? This your big homie, Mr. Synchronicity. I'm back with another powerful video. And in this video, we're going to talk about what is negative synchronicity. And with that said, let's go. So before I start talking about what is negative synchronicity, I like to quote this movie called Vampires in Brooklyn, starring Eddie Murphy and Angela Bassett. Now, remember when he was the pastor and he was on a rooftop and he was talking about evil? You see, evil is good. Well, that's what I think. And he also said, a story has two sides. A story has duality. There can't be light without dark. And that's why I wanted to open up with this, because this is going to all start to make sense when I break down negative synchronicity. And I'm going to use my past experience. So I'm going to talk about my most recent past experience about negative synchronicity. When I feel like the dream world started to merge with my reality. See, I let my power and status go to my head, go to my ego. And that's what put me in this negative synchronistic timeline because of my actions. So I always had negative synchronicity, but never developed to this extent. Like one time, many years ago, I'm going to say this real brief. I was dating this young lady, and I guess she didn't have insurance, and she didn't upgrade her license. Now, I was at home playing the game, that same card game I showed y'all on my Angel Number video 227. I was playing like a tri-solitary type of game. And the three numbers I received that day was 666. And I'm like, oh, crap, something's going to happen. But I wasn't really thinking much of it. I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead, going on without my day. Tell me why less than 2 days later, me and this girl, she driving, we get stopped by the police. And on top of that, she got like 2 or 3 different tickets because she didn't have all her stuff together. Now, something in the back of my mind, or you can say my higher self, my intuition told me to just keep my ass at home. Don't go hang out with her for the night. Because then I was the person to blame because she got pulled over. And I should have just used my intuition and just told her I'm good for right now. But it was just so crazy how the number 666 came across my screen. Now we're going to fast forward it to my most recent event. Now, I was going to the gym at my job, and all of a sudden I see these protesters outside my job. Now, this is on a Sunday. And I'm like, I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, I don't even understand why these protesters outside my job. Now, I ain't going to say what they was protesting because I got to still keep that a secret or privy. And then that Monday, they dropped me a new client for me to put in my personal training schedule. And the last 3 digits of his phone number was 666. And I'm like, oh, man, something's about to happen. And then later on that day, I get a text. And it was from somebody that I know saying they wanted to tell me something. I'm like, uh-oh. I saw the number 666. This can't be good. So all these events is taking place, right? And then I wind up getting another text at night from that business partner I was talking to y'all about in the previous videos. It was like, we got to meet up. And so once we met up, I was like, man, this is crazy. Everything from there starts to go downhill. And that's when I know I created my own flashpoint, like the TV show The Flash. I created an alternate timeline. Sometimes we forget how thin the reality is, or the fabric of reality on this plane of existence. Or you can say that everybody's starting to get more awake and things are starting to manifest a lot faster. You know, we got cars on the roads, a bunch of license plate numbers, gas stations put up numbers. So on a spiritual level, things are manifesting much quicker and much faster at an anticipated rate. So when this business partner was telling me all this messed up stuff like, oh, the deal didn't go through. I wasn't trying to set you up. I wasn't trying to use you. And it was like all bad. And I feel like when they was telling me all this bad news, my mind was able to go to like the 5th dimensional realm. Like I feel like my body and mind separated. And I was able to see different types of colors as if I was in the Speed Force. But you know, like the TV show The Flash, the Speed Force is blue. He always in the blue Speed Force. Mine was kind of like a darkish purple, greenish. And I'm like, man, I don't want to hear all this type of information right now. They was like, yeah, I'm not trying to set you up. Certain keywords was like standing out to me. And I'm like, I'm guessing I'm sensing fear from this person or from my business partner. And I felt like I was stuck. But by me being smart, I know the law of perpetual transmutation. Energy must flow in you, through you, and out of you. Nobody's never stuck. That's the abbreviated version of what the law of perpetual transmutation states. But at that moment, I was stuck. I feel like, man, I created some drama. And ever since I got to this age, I pretty much like stopped having like crazy deja vus, crazy astral projections. I still have lucid dreams where I'm flying in some of them. But all that psychic and ESP power, I was at a point in time to where it just calmed down. But I feel like ever since I touched down at my new job, all these psychic and special abilities start awakening. Like whatever notes they leave on my table, I swear to God, things start to transpire in my life. Like for example, they gave me 2 dates, 11/13 and 11/27. And 11/13 is pretty much the day of the full moon. 11/12 was the start of the full moon. 11/26 is the beginning of the new moon. And then 11/27 is what was left on my desk so I can put in the system or put a client in the system for personal training. So there's a lot of spiritual paranormal activity going on at my job. I created my own flashpoint, my own negative synchronicity, because I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do, using my status and power, and it kind of curved me into an alternate timeline. A timeline I don't desire to be in. I'm doing everything in my power to make it right, even though time has more power than both sides of the story. Just like I was quoting that scene from Vampires in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy. We got to be more perceptive and more sensitive to how we move through this reality. Because if we're not careful with like the words we use, the actions we take, it can slowly put us down. I won't say at the wrong place at the wrong time, but we can definitely start to experience negative synchronicity. Okay, that's my time. I didn't mean to drag this video out. Tell me what y'all think. If y'all have any negative synchronicity experience happen to you where you felt like, well, this could only happen to me in the dream world, and then it starts to merge in your reality, or your subconscious starts to absorb more of it, or your conscious starts to expand, man, it's some very deep stuff I've been going through. So share your experiences in the comment section. We can help and heal each other, and I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Peace, stay blessed, got nothing but love for you.